Welcome to my channel. We all fear the unknown. We all have dreams where we are chased by some sort of monster or some sort of scary situation. Or perhaps we dream of being trapped in a room with no way out. These kinds of dreams demonstrate our fears of the unknown, our fears of the darkness. When we don't know what lies ahead, when we don't know what lies in the unknown territory, it kind of feels like the unknown is this huge monster that we need to slay, and it's difficult for us to do that. Sometimes we find ourselves frozen, stuck, and unable to take action, simply because we're afraid of the unknown. And this happens even when we have a choice. Even when we could choose to explore the unknown, we choose not to. Because what if there's something in the unknown that hurts us? What if we get hurt? What if we fail? What if we break our bones? What if we fall down? But here's the thing. Life will always have something new for you. Life will always have some sort of twist in store for you. And if you refuse to step into the unknown, you're refusing opportunities. You're refusing the opportunities that would allow you to expand, the opportunities that would allow you to evolve. Now, this might be difficult to understand. Most people think that evolution means just evolving as a species. Evolution means becoming better, becoming more advanced. But actually, evolution has nothing to do with other people. It has nothing to do with your social status or anything external. Evolution begins with you. You can evolve into a better version of yourself. You can evolve into someone who's stronger, someone who's wiser, someone who's more self-aware. But if you refuse to face the unknown, you won't allow yourself to evolve. And as a result, you won't become the best version of yourself. So how do we conquer this fear? How do we conquer our fear of the unknown? One way to conquer any fear is to recognize that you have control over it. If you feel like your fear is controlling you, you should learn to flip it around and make it work for you. So whenever you face a choice between something familiar and something unfamiliar, try to see which side of the coin you want to choose. Do you want to stay on the safe side of the familiar, or do you want to explore the unknown? Some people say, well, I don't want to risk it. And so they don't move forward. They don't make progress in their lives. They don't start a new hobby. They don't talk to the person they like. Why? Because they're afraid of the unknown. They're afraid of what might happen. But here's the thing. By staying where you are, by not taking risks, you're also taking a risk. By staying where you are, you're risking the fact that you will never grow. You're risking the fact that you will never evolve. Have you ever met someone who seems to effortlessly go through life? Someone who appears to glide through challenges without breaking a sweat while others struggle and complain? The truth is, they probably had to put in double the effort to achieve what you see. This is what's known as the Matthew effect. This effect implies that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. In science, it's often observed that those who already have access to resources or knowledge tend to benefit more from those resources and knowledge, thus increasing their advantage. However, many people don't realize that this phenomenon doesn't just apply to material wealth or scientific advancements. It's a universal principle that influences every aspect of life. For example, when faced with a challenge, someone who has developed effective coping mechanisms and emotional regulation strategies will find it easier to bounce back and adapt. On the other hand, someone who struggles with mental health issues like anxiety or depression may find themselves further debilitated by the same challenge. Similarly, in professional settings, an employee who is already proficient at their job will likely excel with additional training and experience, potentially earning promotions or raises. Conversely, an underperforming employee may continue to struggle despite similar opportunities. This isn't to say that those who start from a disadvantage won't succeed. After all, success stories of individuals who overcame challenging circumstances abound. Rather, it's about acknowledging that these success stories aren't the norm, and that statistically, those who face greater obstacles are less likely to prevail. This highlights the importance of recognizing and addressing the disadvantages that certain groups face in order to create a more equitable society. So when you look at someone who seems to be doing well in life and you envy their success, remember that they too started somewhere and likely faced their own set of challenges along the way. Understanding this can help you approach their success with less envy and more inspiration. Recognizing that their journey, while different from yours, can still serve as a guiding light on your path. You've probably heard the term, curiosity killed the cat. While it's often used to discourage unnecessary investigation or prying, I prefer to see it as an opportunity for growth. Yes, curiosity can sometimes lead us into trouble, but it can also be the catalyst for learning and self-improvement. When we're curious about something, when we have this burning desire to know more, it means that there's a gap in our knowledge. It means that we want to understand something better. And this is a great starting point for personal growth. When you're curious, you're opening yourself up to new ideas, new experiences, and that's what life is all about, isn't it? Take a moment to think about some of the things you know, some of the skills you have learned. Chances are it was your curiosity that drove you to learn them. You were curious about something, so you sought out the information you needed to satisfy your curiosity. And it's not just about acquiring knowledge. Curiosity also fuels creativity. When we're curious, we're more likely to come up with innovative solutions to problems. We're more likely to see things in a new light, to think outside the box. Of course, there's a time and a place for everything. There are times when it's important to focus, to put blinders on, and just stick to the task at hand. But there are also times when it's good to let our curiosity guide us, to encourage our imagination to run wild. So the next time you hear the phrase, "curiosity killed the cat," don't let it discourage you. Instead, let it remind you of the power of curiosity, the power of asking questions, the power of never being satisfied with the status quo. After all, it was our curiosity that drove us to explore the world around us, to learn new things, to create new things. It's what makes us human, what makes us unique. In today's hyper-competitive world, it's easy to fall into the trap of comparing ourselves to others. We see people achieving success and recognition, and we ask ourselves, why not me? But here's the thing. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's story is unique. Think of your life as a movie. Everyone's movie is playing at its own pace. Some movies are fast-paced, full of action and adventure. Others are slower, allowing the audience to absorb the details and nuances. Comparing your movie to someone else's is like judging a fast-paced action movie by the standards of a slow-burning drama. It doesn't make sense. Just as each movie has its own unique storyline and purpose, each person's life has its own trajectory. Someone else's success doesn't diminish your own. It's not a zero-sum game. Their success doesn't take away from your ability to succeed. Instead of comparing yourself to others, focus on your own journey. Embrace the pace of your life. Enjoy the small victories and learn from the setbacks. Remember, your movie is playing in its own timeline. Don't rush it. Don't compare it to someone else's. Appreciate it for what it is, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece in the making.